So today, let's talk about cross-training for runners, the why and the what. How's it going, runners? My name is Justin Thompson. I'm your average running PT, and I help the average runner achieve their own personal elite status. If that's something that you guys are into, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you know when the next video comes out. So I saw an article in RunnersWorld just recently, just in the last few days, where they were talking with Dr. Kevin Vincent. And Dr. Vincent is the director of the University of Florida Running Medicine Clinic. And I actually have a really close relationship with him. He actually wrote me a recommendation for my latest job. So I know the guy pretty well, and he's a really, really nice guy. But he also really knows his stuff. So when he starts talking about cross-training or about anything having to do with running, I'm going to listen to him. So in this article, Dr. Vincent talked about how cross-training should serve one of three purposes. Number one, it should help improve your cardio. Number two, it should help improve or strengthen muscles. And number three, it should improve your recovery. So one of these three particular things is what your cross-training activity should be doing at a given time. So let's talk about some activities that you can do to help with each of these three different factors. Number one, let's talk about how you can improve your cardio while not running. So I think it's really important to change up the activity that you do every now and then, because running is a very unilateral sport and it can create overuse injuries if all you do all day, every day is run. So I think it's important to maybe switch out your specific activity for that week or for that day, and you can change to doing a different cardio activity for sure. So what are some other activities that you can do? Well, of course, this is probably the easiest one for us to figure out, and you can easily jump off the run and go onto a bike ride, go swimming, or maybe cross-country skiing, something like that. Anything that's going to get that heart rate elevated and really start to kind of push you over a period of time to keep that heart rate up a little bit elevated, right? So the goal here is to still work the same energy system and help improve that cardiovascular endurance, but it's not necessarily to work the same muscle groups. All right, and the second thing is your cross-training could help to improve or strengthen muscles. So this is going to require something different than running for sure, because running is very much an endurance activity. So if we can change from doing one energy system, which is that aerobic energy system, and switch to doing a little bit more anaerobic and forcing those muscles to work a little bit harder, then that's going to help improve that overall strength. And you can do this in a few different ways. So the most obvious way that you can do this is you could go to the gym and lift weights or do some sort of body weight activity, something that's going to get those muscles working a lot harder than if you were just running. Now, you could also do plyometric activity, things that are going to get you kind of working on that stretch reflex and bouncing, but that's also going to be prepping those muscles for when you go back to running, and you can have a little bit more spring in your step as well. Now, you could also play completely different sports. So for me, my cross-training activity right now is playing soccer on the weekends. So we're playing in a league on the weekends, and believe me, you are using completely different muscles when you are constantly cutting, twisting, turning, running, sprinting, and all those muscles from the core all the way down to my feet are feeling completely different activity than if I was just running straight ahead for a long period of time. Of course, you can also play basketball, you can play tennis, you can play any other sport that you want. You could also do something like rollerblading. And I think that rollerblading is actually very underutilized because it actually performs both cardio and working different muscles. So I think that it's a very effective exercise for working areas such as your hips, where those don't really get worked very much if you're just going straight ahead. But if you're doing that rollerblading motion where you have to kind of kick your leg out to the side, trust me, you're going to feel those hips working in that particular activity. Now, number three is your cross-training activity could help to improve recovery. So obviously, if you are working to improve recovery, that means your intensity level is going to be significantly less. Now, that may mean something like going for a simple walk. That may mean riding a bike nice and easy and not really worrying about how your heart rate's getting up, but more worrying about how your legs are feeling and just kind of getting rid of any of that blood that may be pooling in your legs. Now you could also do the same thing as far as like walking in a pool or nice easy swimming. Stuff that's not getting your heart rate too high, that's keeping you in those recovery zones, but that you're still moving. You're still moving a little bit and getting those legs kind of prepped for the next workout. You could also do simple stretching or, slower type activities, things like that. So there's a few ideas for you. I'm going to go ahead and link to that article in the description below. So if you want to check it out and hear a little bit about what my friend Dr. Vincent has to say, then go ahead and check that link out in the description below. And that's all I've got for you guys today. So head on out there, seek your elite, God bless, and I will see you next time.